This is the part 2 of the conversation. The link to part 1 is in the show description. I would recommend you to listen to it first. Hey, it's Puneet Surana, and this is the bonus series of the Galata podcast. We had this interaction in the early hours at Central Pergola of the serene campus of IIM Bangalore. So this is in the midst of nature, and you will hear the calling of many birds and squirrels that were creating some Galata. And of course, the Bangalore breeze. We'll get to it in a second, but first, here's a message from our presenting sponsor.
Hey girl, do you cringe and cry at the thought of using a common toilet? Reality is, for women, common toilets at events, fuel stations, railways, long-haul flights, busy pub night, malls, tracks, road trips is seldom clean. As women sit and pee, they resort to solutions like wiping the seat, making chairs, or holding it in to avoid touching that toilet seat and stay away from infections. But not anymore. Presenting Pee Buddy, India's first portable, disposable female urination device. Using this, women can now stand and pee. Just open the pack, place Pee Buddy between the flow area, bend a little, pee and dispose. Now you can enjoy the camping trips, parties, road trips, and much more, knowing that Pee Buddy is there for you. Also recommended for usage during pregnancy and arthritis.
This is the part 1 of the conversation.
What are the stereotypes around jiu-jitsu? Let's break them up for somebody who wants to take it up.
Yeah, will I build muscles? Will I bloat up?
Here we go.
Will my hands become all hard?
Oh yes.
And will I have scars all over my face? Will I break my nose? These are the kind of questions I get. But no, I guess also like a major part about practicing jiu-jitsu is you just don't go violent and don't hurt others and yourself. You have to have that control on your body, and although you're aggressive, you're doing your technique 100%, it doesn't mean you're violent.
Yeah, you still calm. The center is still calm.
Yes. So that's why the calmer you are, the lesser the injuries. You are responsible for whatever injuries you do. And there are some people in my gym who are aggressive, and I'm very careful with them. Even though I get tapped out, it's fine. I'm very careful. I don't have an ego when I'm fighting. So that's why I have least amount of injury. Another thing I would like to mention, I was quite bothered about how big I am as a woman, as an Indian.
How big?
Big, yeah. I'm tall, wide, big.
Explain your metrics so people can visualize. Don't go like 32, 33. Not that.
I'm 5'7", quite huge for a standard Indian woman. Height-wise, and also I'm quite broad. Right. Women are all slender and
the hourglass shape.
Hourglass shape, and that had been bothering me for the longest time. I'm like, oh, why am I so big? Why am I not tiny and fit into any shoes? It's very difficult for me to get a pair of chappal also because I'm size 41.
10, 9, 8.
Bata doesn't have my size.
Okay. That's a way to put it.
Yeah. So I end up picking from the men's section most of the times. So yeah. So I've not been very happy about that. And I've always wondered, why am I not like a small petite, But after I've joined jiu-jitsu, I'm so thankful to what I am, to how I'm made. Really, it has helped me so much. And also I'm so much more confident.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you end up appreciating your own body image after jiu-jitsu?
That's because I don't know. I don't know if I'm blessed with the strength or the kind of body whatever muscle fibers or whatever. It works perfectly in jiu-jitsu. I'm able to go neck to neck with guys.
Interesting. Probably it could be the reason that you've been training with guys. Your body had to adapt.
Maybe, yeah. And also the size also. Because I'm quite big, makes me easier to take down big men. And because when the same size and same strength, technique is what comes into. So the better technique you have, so
becomes the differentiator.
That becomes the differentiating factor.
Talk to us about your business. How has it been humming along?
Oh, it's been great actually. For a start, I have about 5 to 6 projects, like some really interesting ones. I'm doing a museum in Bihar. It's for the government, Bihar government. It's a science city, and I'm doing interiors for it. It's about 4 lakh square feet. Other than that, I'm doing some offices, some resorts, and I also have done some pitches for the Taj Group. I'm hoping for it to happen. So yeah, business-wise, I'm 100% satisfied. Obviously, I'm pushing through. I'm aggressive, getting aggressive, more and more aggressive day by day. But for where I am now, I'm very thankful with my business as well.
This is wonderful. You know, one thing I love about this synergy between Jujitsu and businesses, a lot of startup businessmen end up putting that aggression on their employees. And it just trickles down till their families and the kids. But in this case of yours, I can see that aggression generated and vented out on the mat.
Yes.
And after that, you're much more calmer.
Yeah.
And you're in a better place to deal with delays, setbacks, and even if, for that matter, failures.
Yes.
Back to business. How big is the team? Give us an insight of it. I know it's just started, just humming along.
Okay, so I have set up my firm in BTM, 4th stage, and I have about 3 employees plus me. So it's been about 4 months since I've done up my office and started off like a fully fledged business rather than before this it was just about freelancing and working from home, and now I have a dedicated office space and I work on projects pan-India. So anywhere in the country. Actually, I have more projects outside Bangalore than here.
You like a lot of sustainable materials.
I would say I would go with minimalism. Minimalism is something I try to apply in all my projects. Because there's so many times that we do things that are not necessary. You know, the focus should be on what is actually required than what you can do, and that I help the clients focus on that, on what actually is needed. Like for example, for example, in a bedroom, so maybe there are 4 things you require, but you end up doing 8 things. I focus on that, on cutting it down, and minimum furniture means you have more space to move around, and doing minimum interiors. I actually go in for minimum interiors, minimal furniture, minimal.
It may not mean minimum cost.
No, it may not mean that. Yes, that doesn't mean that.
At times it means more cost than...
Yes, but it's comfort. I think minimum things, maximum comfort.
But how do you sell this to customers? Because you're suggesting minimalism. And somebody who's, let's say, building an office or a house is usually looking to get as much as possible out of this.
So I would say with minimalism, you always get more. Minimalism, what I mean by this is, like for instance, my office is also, the interiors, the way I've worked it out is also based on minimalism. So I have like a large table that can be a conference table when it requires to be, or it could be like a office table where 5 of us can sit and work. So it's a minimum one table, multi-purpose. It is a multi-purpose thing, and also because in that entire large space there's only one table, so it gives you so much more flexibility. I would say flexibility, minimalism / flexibility / multi-purpose spaces. Obviously the requirements come from the client. We have to cater to what they want to have, but also show them the right direction. I would say direction. So the principles I follow for direction, for the right direction, are minimalism, like I told you, multi-purpose spaces, furniture, or again, low cost, vernacular. So anything you do it locally is going to be so much cheaper for you. And the budget is something that most of the clients are very strict about. So we try to fit in everything that's possible, within that budget and give them the best.
How do you handle the big firms or established firms? Because it's still again a fight.
Yeah.
How do you stand apart? For example, there will be other architecture firms, there would be other independent organizations or individuals or much more.
Pitching for a project like that. That's again a fight. Aggression. Go aggressive.
So how do you go aggressive? What do you do?
So you keep sort of maybe try and work a little more than what you expect others to do. Work harder than that, show more work. Maybe that's one way to do it. But also I don't see myself competing with the big boys, I would say. Because there's only so much I can do. And I don't want to burn out doing projects for the big boys. Because how it works is in our industry, like most of the work gets done for free. I can't afford to do it.
Most
Maybe
of the work gets done for free?
Most of the work, as in the pitch part at least. So nobody pays you for it,
Right.
Like big pitches, you do it, and whether it might get approved, might not get approved. The client might like it, might not like it. So I am quite selective about the projects I take up. I do not want to put my head in something.
Sure, so you've prioritized.
Yeah, I've prioritized.
Using a criteria or something.
Yes.
What's the criteria
Yes.
like?
So mostly I go in for projects. I do not go in for competition projects. As of now, I haven't because it's been just a year and a half that I've set up, and I have a limited team. So it's hard for me to go in and pitch for big projects or competitions because you don't know if it will come to you, right? It's a chance you're taking. So right now I go in for clients that give me short projects. So because I've done a few projects, there are references. People come back to me because they like the work I've done. They like the principles I follow or whatever the way I work. So they come back to me. So right now I've been handling projects with all the known faces.
Sure. Right now it's still in the
it's still in the
first references.
Yes, first references.
Early
Yes.
Fascinating. Let's go back quickly and dip into Jiu-Jitsu. What have you borrowed from architecture in terms of lessons, understandings, whatever, and brought it back to Jiu-Jitsu?
Never thought that. It's always borrowing things from Jiu-Jitsu to architecture, but it's never been the other way.
Come on.
Nothing. Can't think of anything that I've taken from architecture to Jiu-Jitsu.
Because I was thinking you would have probably analyzed techniques like structures or through a lot of angles or some...
So much different. No, there's nothing. Actually, I mean, discipline is because of sports, everything. That's what I'm saying. It's one way.
Yeah.
It is one way.
Yeah, it is one way.
100%.
I was thinking there's a two-way road.
No. At least not to me. Not yet or not to me.
Interesting. No worries. It need not have to be a two-way.
Yeah.
I was expecting to be two-way. Okay. now that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about sponsorship real quick. How hard is it for you to get sponsorships for the sport, or is it still being funded by you and the company that you're running?
Initially, it was quite hard because nobody's heard of this, and so they don't want to really sponsor something, a sport so small as
How much does it
Jiu-Jitsu.
cost to maintain a sport like this in your life? So the ladies listen to it, the men listening to it, get an idea of,
So my training is entirely sponsored by Indian Combat Sports Academy,
sure.
where I train. So I don't have to.
Jitesh has been really generous.
Yeah, he's been really generous to his fight team. None of us.
Wow.
The whole fight team, that is, I think about 12 of us, don't have to. We don't pay a penny to him.
I appreciate respect wherever you are. You're listening to this.
Yes.
Salute.
So
We need more like you.
Yeah. So he knows how hard it is for athletes, and we are already trying to balance so many things. So he doesn't charge us anything. So that's that. And other than that, so you have your nutrition, protein powders, and the right kind of nutrition. It has to be cooked then and had. Then that's the point. You can't keep it for long or buy it and eat it. So it's a lot of effort, I would say, more than money. Obviously, there's money. But also there's a lot of effort. You have to eat on time, and then you have to prepare your meals. It's the best. You can't buy your meal because there's no healthy meal that you can buy. So you have to prepare your meal according to your requirement. Each person has a different requirement. Each athlete has a different requirement. So you prepare a meal according to that. So it's time consuming, I would say, more than costing us. Because training is sponsored. But for my lifting part, so I go to another gym where obviously that's a paid thing. So it cost me for a month.
So you're talking about 20 to 30,000 a month?
20,000 per month.
Per month.
Yeah. And plus the gear. It's very simple for us. We don't have shoes, nothing. No, it's just
no fancy expensive.
No fancy, nothing at all because no equipment.
Your body.
Yeah, your body you use your body. So no equipment at all.
You should see the smile on her face.
Just some rash guards, t-shirt that's like a compression t-shirt. That's all. The compression, like a pant. That's all. That's all. Absolutely nothing. And a mouth guard, yeah, obviously. Yeah, but injuries is something that can set you back. It can put you 5 months behind what you are, because once you have a major injury like a joint tear, then it's 5 months, 4 months, you lose that, and then when you come back, you find it really hard to get back to form. I think that's with all sports.
When did you get your first sponsor? And how did it feel?
Yeah, my first sponsor didn't even want his name to be revealed.
Yay!
I know.
Same
So,
pitch.
so I wanted to go to UK to train. I wanted to see how it is outside of
Sure.
India. So I planned like a 5-week training session.
Was it in London?
It was in Birmingham. So the flight tickets were sponsored by Rajesh.
Tell his full name, tell what he does. Needs some exposure.
His full name is Rajeshwar Reddy. He's from Hyderabad. He's a builder. Yeah, and he's a friend of friend. And
See, architecture contributing jiu-jitsu. Ta-da!
Yeah, he's a builder.
Sure, you didn't see it. Okay, go ahead.
But what?
It's okay, go ahead. So I was saying there's a two-way road.
Ah. Yeah. So yeah, he's my first sponsor, and he didn't even want his name to come up anywhere. It's okay. Not like most of the sponsors, like the commercial sponsors want. I mean, that's also fine because we're helping both ways. Sunpure has sponsored me.
And you got the recent award from Sunpure.
Yeah, Sunpure
Superwoman Award.
Competitions cost us because we have to travel. Like, say, for example, it's in Indonesia or something, Bali. So, all that travel cost and the stay cost and the competition entry fee and all of that, the nutrition, that will be taken care by Sunpure. If at all,
so
like
basic expenses are covered.
Yeah, basic expenses are covered.
Fantastic.
Then Smart Story is another company. It's a project management company. They have, again, from architecture. I met them through, and they sponsored my last event. So your sponsor for this, how does that help you?
He's totally chill with it. He loves the way that I have conversations with people, and he's totally okay if I don't even mention him on the episode or his brand,
nice.
which is fantastic. And I love I said no to like 3 other people who wanted to sponsor because I didn't connect with whatever they're doing. But his products I totally connect with. It has all these women issues based products, period panties that decrease the pain naturally using Ayurveda. There is the Pea Buddy that I told you about. There's so many other interesting things that he's doing to do with women right now and hygiene. I love that. And that's why I'm like, yay, let's do this.
Interesting. I like what you do.
This is the only place I'm going to mention the sponsors. But how was it? Did you actually look out for these 3 companies and individuals, or they just...
Yes, Sunpure came to me. They came to me with the award. I think one of my friends suggested my name for this award, and then they had to like check. And
Sure.
So Sunpure was so it was introduced that way. But the other companies, yes, I had to approach them. But it's okay. I just had to talk to them once, and they were more than happy to sponsor for what I was doing.
I think that's something very important for sports persons listening to this show. At times you just have to ask. You really have. And even if you're a startup person, you got to ask. Whether it's for order, whether it's for funding, whether it's for a project.
So what I'm doing is because I like it. And if it is helping somebody understand life in a better way, or it's inspiring somebody to take up jiu-jitsu or start off a business on their own, that's the impact it can make on people, I'm happy. But I'm doing this for a very selfish reason. I'm doing it because I totally love it and I want
That's a very good reason.
Life to move in a certain direction.
This has been a very refreshing conversation because we have spoken about business, and then there's of course so much of jiu-jitsu around it, and your life is really interesting, especially the part where I hope you get the learning of building that emotional strength, which will take you through a lot of things. Thank you so much, Nabila,
Thanks,
for having
Puneet.
this conversation. And yes, to the rest of you, go make some Galata.